2-0 sweep. I think a lot of people expected that on the desk. It seemed to be the sentiment. Or MVP going to be able to fight back and bring us...
It is all over the place, isn't it? Look.
It's pretty enormous, yeah. I guess I have like 3 characters. You like, how many characters is James Bardolph?
More.
It's a lot. It's like 15, 16 at least.
I don't know, but we're about to get into Inferno. TyLoo starting on the CT side. Now, MVP have to put the last map behind them. They may feel some frustration for the fashion in which they lost, but they had a good innings ultimately, and they could have done better. And they can use that to spur them on Inferno. Starting on the T side, what will they offer TyLoo in round number 1? Interestingly, DD's gone for a smoke and a CZ, and now it's always good to see a CZ or a 5, well, mainly a CZ at this point, on a CT pistol if you're playing a position in which there may be a rush. DD's playing the balcony position on A, so that is a monstrous smoke if a push were coming in there. But the focus is on Inferno for the time being. Bentet has made glow no more. Revenge will be had, though. But MVP won't commit to anything just yet. They are almost faking that they're rotating away, and they're quietly moving back, and somebody may be in for a nasty surprise.
Playing it patiently. Has no idea that there's people right on the other side of the wall. Oh, the flash is perfect. Can't quite get the 2 frags he wants. On 5 HP now, that's not too awesome. Able to just barely get out of dodge in time. You can see him going to sandbags and thinking, oh god, I should probably go back to the side. And fortunately for him, he had enough time. 4v3 then, as the bomb is sitting on the banana at the moment. And MVP are figuring out exactly how they handle this. They've got one man making noise towards A, trying to delay rotation as the bomb makes its way into B.
Second oranges. Sigan has some fruit to sell, but he hasn't got much HP. 2 versus 2. Executor and DD now on the rotation. DD still has a smoke grenade and his CZ. Is there a use for that smoke on this retake? Neither of these players has a kit. There might be one on the floor somewhere. Executor holding angle, spots the player first oranges, and that's DD up close range, but Executor gets the kill. Now it's side with the Glock, and that will be enough on this occasion. I like how that pistol round was basically played out like a full buy round by both the sides. Even had some information plays on a banana retake for the CT side. That was really cool. Not something you see so much in Europe, but that was quite stimulating to watch.
Yeah, and this 1v1 is so hard to know how this goes. Executor's been so good with the USP. His first bullet accuracy is quite solid. And they have 5 CZs and 4, is that 4? 3 smokes, okay. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I do wonder if, if MVP are going to be giving too much respect, if they're going to be playing scared, or if they'll be able to just run a routine response to a CT force buy. It's harder than it looks sometimes to coordinate and communicate as a team on the fly. That's kind of why you want protocols. You want set protocols so you're not in a situation where you get screwed over because you get blocked by smoke grenades continuously.
We see the setup for TyLoo. DD in a position where he can escape if he's lucky. He's distracted by the smoke grenade towards Arch, and that has compromised his position. He opts not to re-peek. Who knows if somebody's wide. Somebody not getting flashed. DD doing some damage. It's hard to use the word somebody in commentary right now. The CT side is falling to pieces here for TyLoo. But of course, it is very early on this map of Inferno, and I'm very curious to see how the buy rounds will play out for both teams. Maybe we'll see more comfort from MVP on Inferno, closing rounds on the T side when they put themselves at an advantage.
Yeah, not much for TyLoo to do but save. Is there a possibility that they can get damage on the next round? It's probably a question that they are wondering. How do you engineer that with what you've saved? I mean, there is a world where they can drop the CZs and perhaps purchase a P250 each, and then you've got 2 CZs, 2 P250s on the team. And that's a possibility. We'll have to see how much they're willing to invest into this following rounds. Okay, well yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's probably not advisable to go P250s. Never mind. Never mind, just got to take that L. They didn't really get enough fragging to be able to afford that. We'll actually see Excurate buying an additional flashbang. But that seems to be the only investment. So I'm happy with that. I approve. I approve of this. So looking forward to seeing what kind of plays they make with the flashes and the smoke of Excurate. I would love to see Excurate rocking Deagles. I feel like he's going to have some great Deagle highlights.
Smoke flash for Monsieur Excurate. Benton low. MVP needs to identify if there is some kind of stack here in this round. And there is a stack around the arch position. DD, Azio, and somebody. And we have seen anti-eco, anti-force buy plays with 4 players on arch in this tournament so far. So maybe TyLoo have an expectation of that being a likelihood. Once again, we have the Reef. Oh, it's absolutely perfect timing. He sees 2 players, even if he only kills 1 of the 3. And that is forcing TyLoo to reposition. Although they're not rotating from arch, they've just taken a different setup on A. So they've left arch open now, and they've put 2 people in A and DD in the pit position. And still MVP, take it slow, but with 35 seconds left, MVP needs to commit to something and leave margin for error.
The smoke on Banana that was dropped only dissipated around 35 seconds, and there's been 2 more smokes towards the B bomb site, so I think they're trying to like fake that they're going there, but the bomb is moving towards B, and TyLoo just still stacked on B. There's less than 20 seconds. The bomb's now just rotating back to B because they found out that it's safe, but there is a player there. If somehow the bomb is dropped and there's some kind of chaos, maybe there's a chance, but no, there's a smoke down still.
Oh, he was close.
He's going for it. The funny thing is, I think that would have been enough time killed to actually win the round if he gets the kill. So,
absolutely.
So that's insane. And that's MVP almost. You know, that's well, giving a position to TyLoo where they almost tied a rope around their own necks.
I mean, they can do what they just did, but do it 15 seconds earlier. It will be beneficial. Shine doing some good damage, cutting off the rotation. And again, that's if you're an MVP fan, it's you're holding on to the edge of your seat, even in rounds such as that. And now comes the buy round for TyLoo. No sniper rifle just yet, but all M4s are out. All M4 A4s, worth noting. We may see a lot of spray through smokes, but of course spray can be punished. You've got to be careful.
It's always a sad spot, isn't it, when you're in the first buy round and you just don't have enough nades, but they're going to go quickly MVP. They don't really care about the lack of grenades or anything else. They're just going to go really fast. Not really with a split. They're just barreling up the quad position. It's rare that you see it be so effective. They're not able to hit their initial shots, perhaps caught off guard by the pacing, but that was a little bit problematic for MVP, and this is not a done deal just yet. Bentet and Excurate in the 2v3. The bomb somewhat freshly planted. Oh, they're going to go back. They have... Okay, they don't have a kit, so perhaps that... Okay, that must be the reason then. Because I think this is definitely... You know, you can make a go of this, especially with the skill that Bentet and Excurate have. But yes, you know, typically you don't see so much success when a team just pushes down the quad position, because usually the CTs are going to be in really strong crossfires, and to open up those crossfires, you need to get players down arch to really synchronize. They had one guy on arch, but he was very delayed. He wasn't really part of the push. So TyLoo needs to watch out for that kind of stuff. And they do manage to scrounge together 2 guns, and Excurate traded up for an AK, but that's not how you want to start Inferno CT.
Good start for MVP, but how long can they hold? Can this continue through the half for a strong scoreline? Questions to be answered as things continue here. 2 rifles for TyLoo. Excurate getting very aggressive, and that is Banana taken. He'll have to patiently wait for Molotov to go. That was a close one from Solo, but Excurate is gone. 4 players for MVP now focused on the A site. They lost a man early. What is their response? They know TyLoo, this buy is not perfect for them. They knew one rifle was towards the B bomb site, and now Execute has gone towards B, but the rifle is with Bentet. Makes sense because Execute was low. But they have concentrated the numbers in this position. But where is somebody? He is getting cheeky in apps, and now it's 3 versus 5. And I think these are the situations which MVP may find difficult to cope with.
Oh, he still gets it. That's unreal. And he gets away with the AK.
Oh, boy.
That's kind of crazy. And now this is looking pretty grim. Got to be careful. Okay, Solo's spotted. And how does he can't really push forward by himself. They're going to get caught here by somebody as he moves backwards. Oh, a bit premature with the shots there. Bentet, though, from the pits, able to take down Solo. Mini Setter is dead. And that is the first round, an unlikely one, and so many upgrades there for TyLoo.
I actually thought that was going to happen. For some reason, when I saw the 2 rifles, I was like, they're probably going to... I think TyLoo are the better of the 2 teams at knowing what to do to improve your situation in terms of timing, getting aggressive immediately, taking an opportunity that arises and compounding the problem for MVP. What a round to lose. What a round to lose. They cannot make a habit of doing that because, again, it gives TyLoo a buy for free if they lose this round. Now MVP is looking to enact some revenge, but Bentet spreading the garden hose, taking 3 players down on Banana, leaving Glow in a half-health Solo. What a wipeout again.
Indeed. The only unfortunate thing for there is that they lost some of their AKs, but they also carried, I think, 3 or 4 AKs into that previous round, so it's definitely a good look. And MVP's, some of their shock and awe plays have been successful, but it seems like as though TyLoo are a little bit more ready now. I do wonder if we're going to see that quad rush from MVP at some point, because I really do think that that's not something that really we ever see work, generally speaking. So I would be interested to see what happens if they try it again.
These B players are ready for the ting, that's for sure. I'm not sure that MVP are going to want to take those aggressive, fast exchanges on Banana because TyLoo seem hungry for them. There is an AWP there for the time being. With no grenades here for MVP, one would expect some shoulder picking. You can see the jiggle. Will there be a jump? Jump or a jiggle? Running past the angle, smart stuff. And now that they know an AWP is on the B bomb site, you could argue that they should try to use the numbers to overwhelm them. But they have to wonder if a 3rd man will be rotated towards the B bomb site in expectation of that. And it seems they will favor heading towards A. And I do wonder if they think TyLoo probably have 3 to B for the time being, so let's go to A. See if they outplay themselves here.
Yes, the positioning for TyLoo is pretty good. They just have to make sure that they use their grenades well. And get some level of information on this. Somebody is pushing. Oh, God. Oh, dear. That's now... Oh, man. What? Oh, God. That's my commentary there. Like
GG. I need a GG bell.
So I think Glow basically was able to walk up way too far because so when you're on pit, you gotta check at some point because otherwise they can literally just walk up and just frag your teammate. That should never happen. It should never be the case that it should never be the case that the guy that's on Graveyard that's watching balcony for you so you don't get wrecked in pit. You're not allowed to let him get wrecked from quad. That's the deal. That's the deal, man. So what's going on with that? And he gets 2 Deagle headshots. That's ridiculous.
And now they are hunting the sniper. A turn of events.
Money's really weird as well. They can afford
Everything is weird right now. Even you're weird.
Everything is. Well, I'm always. That's normal. Yeah, but that's
just enough delay on that second shot.
But that's the spot as well. Where like that guy, the last guy who gets fragged there, he's playing Arch. Like he's not even. He should not even be concerned with the guys pushing in those positions.
I've baited my team like that before on LAN. It was actually Matty, formerly of LGBT female. I'm not sure what team name they have now. But I was playing Arch. I just went into site and didn't tell her. People came Arch and shot her on short. We proceeded to lose the round. Both teams on the bye. Good amount of grenades. But MVP moving in quickly, maybe expecting an AWP on Arch, so there'll be a jumping peak. It is unorthodox, but it might just work flashbang, but it had the angle already, so the spray will be enough. An extra in the pit. We've got a crossfire with DD. They stop the player on Graveyard, that's really important, but there's one above them, and the trade is there. Excret can't get it done, leaving Bentet walking through the smoke on Arch. He spots the player, looking for two though. They won't expect him coming so fast. Looking for a second frag, but he's been spotted immediately. Spotted and swatted. MVP 6-2.
The crazy thing is that their A defense, like TyLoo's A defense, is so wide open at the moment. Like it's looking really terrible, and it's kind of worrying because MVP can very well replicate the success on A repeatedly here against TyLoo when they have these buys. Now that they've spotted that, I do wonder if we're going to see repeated A hits. That is kind of worrying if you're TyLoo. Because
go on.
I was about to say, like, because the other thing too is that MVP are not even being forced to really split the site and run it like strong set pieces. They're just kind of walking in and fragging. If you try to do that against, let's say like a Team Liquid or someone who's playing passively and they have good setups, they just won't lose to that.
On that subject, yeah, Team Liquid, we really enjoyed watching them at ECS. Their CT setups, they had really nice bait setups, which were very simple in theory, but very, very effective.
Yeah.
And definitely strats that teams should steal, put into their own repertoire.
They're one of the best teams to watch at the moment in Counter-Strike, I think, for sure. They got the skill and they've got the really, as you say, like really detailed and disciplined protocols in place. Oh man, I feel bad for TyLoo because it's kind of like a series of rounds where everything was just awful, and now they're in this really bad position. Will they find another way back in? That's the question, because MVP have already conceded a couple rounds which were a bit surprising.
Yeah.
Double orbs now for TyLoo.
Unforced error.
Do they go A again, MVP?
Ooh, they've really gone to the Super Brand Mall on this one. They spent the cash. This is still very much a recoverable half for TyLoo. So I would not have cause for concern just yet, but this is a round they need to win. Flashes top mid in case anybody's getting cheeky with a sniper rifle, and they will be soon enough. Excret going back to the well. He's thirsty. So let's see. Azio and Excret with a AWP crossfire of the mid position. One would presume Excret will hold on to Boiler. And Azio top mid. Or maybe they'll both do both. Who knows? MVP denying the usual angles around the top of Banana, but Bentet's not ready to go just yet, and they can do a bait setup here if somebody peeks first, or even if Bentet peeks first, but somebody would probably be more exposed if he's the one who peeks second. Excret getting cheeky in apartment. He spots the dome. That was a wishful shot, but a warning shot as well.
Developing the mount control back into Banana is again MVP. So he was showing sort of conditioning, or not conditioning, but sort of harassing. It's a better descriptor. Plays towards A, and they're really defensive in A. This is the spot where you need to start asking some questions if you're TyLoo, but that's a good way to get some answers. Just the peek there, gets the frag. Azio alone, teammate behind the smoke, going for the peeks here. Have to be really careful, trying to go for the double peek here, using the elevated position on the barrels. Really nice defense coming in from Bentet. Nice idea, but from the attack as well, but it's now MVP with a rush onto the A sites. And now, there's only 2 players. It's easy for DD to clean up. Nice off angle from DD.
Bentet took a massive gamble there. He had to deliver. In another situation, well, the sniper on site didn't have any flashbangs. If he did, he could throw a flash into pull, and Bentet could peek in front of the flash. It would go off behind him, but he chose very, very good timing. Managed to get both kills with the UMP, and that's well, that and DD's off angle wins them the round for sure. There was a 2v2 on the site before DD activated, standing in front of the graveyard position. And now we have a timeout. MVP, Zephyr's got $11,000, so they can most certainly buy here. Go on, Dan. Don't miss it this time.
All right, what do we have? What do we have? Oh, God, that's very small. At only 21 years old, Zeta has played in 34 esports tournaments.
Dude's going in. That almost reminds me the music of the menu music of GTA 5, which is amazing. But enough about other games. 7-3. Again, both teams on the bye. Can MVP right their ship? They had 3 rounds in a row. They had momentum. But when TyLoo win it back, they win it back violently, especially on Banana. Zeta has to hope for the best. What is the plan? Will he have some flashbang support from his teammates? There is one thrown by Zeph or some kind of grenade. But TyLoo have backed off for the time being. Now, we've seen multiple rounds already that they will retake with a pop flash to have a look around this corner and speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
Bentec going in maybe with a flashbang. It's actually a re-smoke, which is pretty nice. That will dissipate around something like 43, 44 seconds, roughly. And MVP seems content to wait. TyLoo, it's a good spot to ask questions on the A sites. You've received no pressure on A. And if you have had no pressure, that's always a really good spot to send the 2 players on pit, send somebody forward with pop flash. If you see nothing, then you float the other guy over towards B. That's kind of the basic response here. And we have a late lurk sort of coming in from MVP here. This is late pressure from Glow.
There are 25 seconds on the clock, and finally the Executor's coming into the B box site. Somebody is completely blind. There's a crossfire here for the CTs, and there's no answer just yet. They don't need to consistently take those fights. They can delay somewhat, and they have won every single duel. TyLoo with 13 seconds running towards the A bomb site. And there's almost been a full rotation. He can plant default double stack. He's got to go for the plant, I think, here. He even gets another frag, makes it doable, but can Azo get in time? He stops the plant as well. I wonder if TyLoo, I feel like he should have got that plant. I don't know if he maybe pressed Q or came off it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But it was a really weird round from MVP because it is like the guy. So first of all, TyLoo didn't recognize that there was like a really clear spot where they're supposed to go for information on towards top mid, because you have to ask that question when it is like a certain amount of time left. And if you had no pressure, that's what really helps you to understand that you're supposed to ask that question. Then the pressure comes in from Glow, like really late on top mid, like too late. And his team are waiting for him before they push into B. And then that slows down their timing into B. And so then it's like all, like it's just not coordinated all too well in the end. And I think that just allows TyLoo to more confidently take those fights. It's a really big difference in Counter-Strike and in team games in general, where you feel like you have enough routine, you know your team well enough, that you can just go in, you don't have to think. Whereas if you're trying to think, oh, is my teammate next to me, you know, is our spacing okay? Is that guy moved up on the map correctly? Like that, if you're having to like ask all these questions and think about all these things, then you're going to have problems. There's going to be more chaos, and it's harder to perform. And TyLoo might just be back in this half now, if they can find a way to hold on to this round. Looks like it's going to be A.
50 seconds remain. No one keeping an eye on the B area anymore. Somebody in Bentet being patient, curious for the information around the arch position, but starting to move back to the site. Now, again, no control of Banana. It is somewhat obvious as to what is going on, but he will get the opening frag. Nice parkour by the MVP players to have some high ground advantages as this push eventually comes in. And the frag, well, there it is. AJ got to hold his position down. Only good for the 1 kill, though. Last 2 players already top mid, and TyLoo's holding the angle. So it is going to work out for MVP, it seems, in this 1 versus 4. Bentet will have to turn tail and run.
That A-bomb site is proving really problematic for TyLoo. And if you think about it this way too, you have TyLoo, so it's not supposed to work like that, because TyLoo have deep banana control. They decided to have 2 players there. So the way that you'd normally do it, if you're going to commit 2 players deep banana control and you start feeling a lot of pressure on A and the push starts to come in, then they start rotating through to a really fast flank, and that's really favorable for the CTs. Or you float someone back and you play it defensively, or you leave someone deep, and you have 4 players on A. But they were still unable to have much of a fight, put up much of a fight to defend the A site here. So some of these basics seem a little bit off here from TyLoo on the CT side. Again, they are playing with stand-in. It's always good to mention. Does definitely throw off routine for teams.
Both teams on the bye. Third last round of the first half. The sniper rifles are out once again. Let's see. BenTeT has been the man for TyLoo, as he often or almost always is. Somebody in BenTeT will be clearing Banana. They had some support from Execute with grenades, but he makes his way back towards the arch position mid smoked off, so there'll be no prompt action from MVP to kick things off. Now, MVP will want to consider a retake of the Banana position. Looks like for now the focus will be moving into the apartments area, clearing that out. But again, this is all about the denial of information for the CT side. They've done well to force CTs away from A. Smoking off Arch has been key. But they do need to force these players away as well.
So what is the call here for MVP? Either you ignore it and just try to take top mids, or you try to challenge it. I think too few teams understand the good timings and methods to challenge that smoke or the deep smokes. And interestingly, TyLoo actually sort of give up on it, actually. Ooh, nice catch there from Execute. He's been fantastic to watch for TyLoo so far.
That's a poor smoke on Arch. You've got to have your specific lineups, otherwise that will happen. That's a heavy lesson to learn. 28 seconds left, and again, MVP have not ventured towards Banana whatsoever this entire time. It's complete guesswork, and they move there on a 20-second mark, and you don't feel like this is what they want to do, it's what they have to do. Sign still trying to sell a fake. He's jumping into 3 plays, and he's pulled a 4th towards the A site, so it is a 3 versus 1 on the B bomb site. They have to move fast. Somebody will raise the alarm, but there are 8 seconds to plant the bomb. He's put in a counter flash, and that's the bomb on the floor. He's getting the frags as well. That's the round for TyLoo.
Oh, man. It's just, as you say, James, the way you put it, like, it's not what you want, but it's what you need to do. Desperation sets in, and there's a lot of struggles here from a fundamental perspective for both teams so far. And it's hard to say, like, it's hard to judge based off of that, like, who will come out on top, just because it's hard to predict sort of what should be, what you would expect to be somewhat steady right now. So again, if I was in MVP's position, I'd find a way to assault the A bomb site. Again, they've been so effective moving in there. TyLoo really struggled to hold on to it, and MVP have also struggled to deal with these deep banana smokes as well. They just let them sit. No challenges just yet. NRG, great team to watch for that. They do not fear the banana smokes. And TyLoo not floating a player back just yet, which you would probably want them to do, especially considering how weak A has often been. Just holding 2 players to banana. And if they are doing that, they have to find a good timing for those players to push banana.
Bursting out of the balcony, but team flashing themselves in the process, and Glow will do what he can. The CTs have got some good positions here, but they are starting to run out extra, making a play through the smoke, making a play to the site. Oh, we've seen the bomb carrier. There is time to fix this, but there isn't the personnel walking into the angles where Execute is already waiting. 2 versus 1. Sign is alone. He's got the bomb, and that is going to be a ding-dong. Gets his bell rung twice, and that is round number 6 for TyLoo.
I'm not sure if it was DD or somebody, but so the 2 players on banana did go for the push as the set piece was coming in from MVP. And the first player was shooting someone in the back for an extended period. I was watching it on the minimap, and he couldn't get the frag. It was looked really awkward, but BenTeT was able to eventually trade. And so that again, that almost was a 1 round from MVP in a spot where their A push was very, very telegraphed. And now they're down to the CZs, the UMP, singular. Somebody with the jump piece. What MVP going to do here? Looks like they'll probably just go A again. They have just shown no interest in retaking map control on banana when it's been taken away from them.
They have lots of grenades, the MVP side. I'm not sure if they were wanting to burst through that smoke, but the Molotov will certainly slow them down. Some jiggle peeks. They've got the flashes. Not quite using them just yet. Just continuing to jump and chase with all these numbers, and it will work out for them 1-for-1, but they've lost the bomb now, chasing the sniper rifle player. And now what do? They've got another frag here. Do they push the B bomb site? Somebody's pushed all the way through mid. If they dwell here, they are surely going to get annihilated because the CTs will be able to reset their positions. Azio and Didi have both sides of the A site, top mid and graveyard covered, and it's down to somebody to hold B. So MVP have slowed it down, and you could argue that does force TyLoo to defend both bomb sites. They couldn't know where somebody was towards B, but what is their play now? They probably need to play together. It's unlikely that the CTs are going to come to them at this point. So less reason to split up, but where in the blue hell is somebody? Oh, he's heard them. Instant rotation. Look at the radar. You see DD coming up, Banana, Azio coming through CT. Doesn't matter if they plant a bomb. It's the last round, just about winning now. Oh, he has taken one for the team there.
Yep, that looked pretty brutal, and now it's down to Azio with the M4. Solo is very weak, so Solo peeks and whiffs. Oh, that's perfect, isn't it? Oh no! It was definitely not perfect.
Denied. That was Glow there anyway, so
oh,
he
right. My bad. I thought it was the low health player. I wanted it. I wished for it. Either way,
he needed it.
It's 9 rounds for MVP and 6 for TyLoo. Honestly, this was a really big struggle. TyLoo need to watch some Team Liquid demos immediately to really understand better how to work their CT side. There's quite a few problems I think there that TyLoo started to recognize and abuse, and that in of itself became very readable. And still, MVP really struggled to. TyLoo really struggled to hold on to those bomb sites. So it's I think that they should feel fortunate to have gotten 6 rounds. But perhaps their T side is much better. I think it suits them. Oh my god!
Ninja, please. Excurate alone all of a sudden with his P250 and okay. He needs to collect that bomb. He'll create some space for himself with the smoke grenade. It's not a brick wall though. He can go through it, and oh, I thought he might, or maybe he will. Shine has made his way off of the mid position, but he might be back just in time to finish things off. That is quite the pistol round. A stark difference to the first half pistol round. MVP with double figures.
Yeah, it's fun when the CTs decide to force the action down middle. It's really risky because you're effectively closing the range against the Glocks, and that can go really poorly. You often see teams, they'll send a CT player jumping across mid, so you get like a peek down into T-pit, and then you jump peek across in the balcony as well, so you can peek to see if anyone's running second mid. That's usually what most teams do to get the info, and then they'll start peeking to get frags. But yeah, it's an aggressive approach, and it works out really well this time. And MVP need to now defend against the force spy. It's not always all that simple. Shine off to pull back with the smoke. Now, what is the plan here for MVP? Because they smoked Banana, bottom Banana, and that's like a perfect smoke to burst through. It's actually dissipated.
TyLoo got the gonad for this.
This is not a good look for Zeph right now.
Yeah, they are not afraid to do Banana, but Solo, he's isolated the players at the very least, half through the smoke, and that gives Zeph half a second to do more damage. Solo falling back, he can buy time, he's got 14 HP. Mini Shatter is in spawn, he can throw that pop flash when they come in, and Solo can face behind it. Worth the risk, the smoke is down, the flashbang is there, but there's no peek behind it. Okay then, Glow. Okay. He's ready to kill everyone. He is ready for this map, it seems. So very often when there is a CT rotating in CT to try and get to B, often they won't get there in time, but if they've got a flash, they can throw the flash into pool and their teammates can face in front of it. He was in a barrel position and chose to stay up on there on the oranges instead, which is also fine. But that is something to take into consideration. It is one of the more powerful pop flashes on the B bomb site itself, as opposed to Banana for the CT side. TyLoo in a Glock round, cameo appearance from a P250 and a Desert Eagle.
Yeah, I thought that it was a really nice position for TyLoo to just burst through. Solo arriving just in time to create distraction. Otherwise, if they're all just jumping around the corner into the UMP, I think he's just going to get annihilated versus the CZs. Let's see these Glocks if they can do anything. There's a nice little pop flash there for Arch. There's a peek from Inverter. Let's see what he can do. Oh, not too much.
Get him, DD. TyLoo has to fall back. And this is awkward. Zeph is still trying to keep an eye on the smoke on Banana. God. But there they go. This is absolute madness from TyLoo. 5-man on the road, and they're making their way into the B bomb site. Does Zeph stand and fight? He needs to contain them before they spread and go wide. Only good for the 1 kill. He needs more than that. 2 versus 4. These players, you don't even have Kevlar. The bomb's been planted. Shine and Glow coming in from the same position. They have no grenades to force that player from New Box, so there is a guaranteed crossfire for these T players. And they've got DD on the flank as well. He gets taken down by the 180, but still, we've got the players getting wiped out. And that is an absolute crisis averted. How on earth do you even come through all that madness?
It's crazy. I guess if they had Kevlar in that position, maybe they're actually going to win the round. Because no one had Kevlar, as you say. Like, I think all that was bought was a single Deagle. And yeah, they're on AZO, and that was basically it. So, and they just picked up grenades as they ran through Arch. It's a really nice way to do it, actually, because you can isolate players pretty effectively. And if the communication is off, then you can really abuse that. However, they did not win the rounds, and MVP get 12 on the board, so double the scoreline of TyLoo. So TyLoo are going to have to show us a remarkable T side to recover into this game to take the series, if that's what their plan is. Wow, what on earth is going on here? Look at this aggression. It's running down second mid with like 3 players. Or 2 players.
This is the buy rounds. These guys are rabid animals. Yeah. Where did this MVP come from?
I guess they're just playing the throwaway game with the SMGs. A lot of teams in the European meta don't do this anymore. They just play like a normal buy round with just put emphasis around apartments, but you will rarely see them push second mid.
So most of MVP fell back. Minizeta was picked off towards the bottom of mid, 4 versus 3, and TyLoo have control of Banana, which is not something you could say very often for MVP in the first half. So at least they have that. Who the hell knows where the CTs are towards the A site? TyLoo have to go to B at this point, especially with the CTs having pushed second mid. They could be in TAPS by now. They have no idea, but they've been smoked off, and they will have to bide their time. Let's see. Solo has an MP7. He's playing at the back of the site, which will be a challenge. Zeph is second oranges. They both have no grenades whatsoever. And now even though MVP had all that nice aggression, they've got no information. TyLoo are going to be so close to the site. Who's going to peek first, though? Because Xcrit's got 22 HP, so Solo could actually out-duel him. He gets APO first, and not ready for the bait, though. Both players picked off. Long rotation now for MVP.
Bomb has been planted, and in they run. Well, they try to. It's a bit of a run. It's a tiring run. All that equipment on their back. Now, it's looking pretty good here for MVP on the way in because they've got nades, they've got a couple players who are quite weak. This is the only main. That was the main issue. And Xcrit is going to play on the side of the smoke. That's the big frag. Now down to Glow. How does he do this? He's got to find the frags. He has to find the frags somehow, and then there's smokes all over the place. Taps the bomb to keep the pressure on, and that's going to force out Xcrit. Now as he goes back to tap it once again. This time, will he go for the hold? No, he comes off of it, and there's the peak, and it's fine because the bomb is ready to blow. Nice done by TyLoo. Everyone will die, though.
I guess Glow got the worst case scenario done there at that point. I'm not going to win this round, but they're not going to run away from this bomb. 5-round lead for MVP, and they have money on 2.5 players, so they don't really have money. Bentet, though, has called for the pause, so it will be a TyLoo tactical pause. We saw some wild rounds from MVP. It was pretty awesome to see. But, yeah, in the end, I feel like they had a good start in that run. Oh, hold on. Solo from MVP. Show me the trivia. Solo's career was put on hold in early 2011 as he was forced to join the South Korean army to serve his military duty. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
Do you have military duty, James?
No, I did go to Royal Cadets for a while, but I went with some yobbos and they didn't take it seriously, so just like laughing and stuff, and then we left. traditional setup here for MVP to start with, despite the fact they are rocking an AK-47 and not a whole lot else. Glow is pushing apartments with his teammate. Sign, oh, in the face, and he doesn't need to re-engage. He does not need to re-engage, but he does, and he gets a kill as well. That is absurd. Solo towards the arch position, can spot, and Glow's gone through. In fact, the T's are ahead now, and they're only facing pistols, so this could be fixed by TyLoo in the short term. Glow making his way back into apartments, and now TyLoo making their way back away from A. So Glow has conceded his position, and now they're moving into where Glow could have been activated.
Yeah, and this is one of the dynamics with pistols when you're playing against them. Pistols are going to be much happier to rotate. They're going to be rotating much quicker than in when you're playing against a buy round. So that's something that you need to bear in mind, that you can create rotations much more easily. And that said, MVP are now just actually settling and holding. And look at Minizeta. He's going to run away, get smoked off, and that's a free B bomb site. Now, they may be assaulted from construction, but there's a smoke there for the time. And if they're playing a 3v4 post plant against, I mean, there is a kill on Glow, but they're playing 4v3, a 3v3 post plant, a 3v2 post plant. That's pretty favorable. So they found a way to fix it. You're right, James. I
think those guys could have perhaps waited, because Shine picked up a second AK-47. At this point, I think, yeah, they're going to save. I think Glow's showing some presence. You can see he quietly walks away, so they don't know he's saving. He could still be lurking there. He does not want him to have that information, but Shine picks up a second AK-47, so he could have had the 4 versus 3 attempt with some possession of construction, but it is what it is. They only lost USPs for the most part. That's so unfortunate for Glow, though. Just the timing didn't work out for him, because otherwise, who knows how many he might have fragged there. And he was on a very long rotation as well, so go back and forth. Wasted too much time. Maybe the crawl space might have been a better idea, especially because, again, the CTs didn't know what was going on. Minizeta was rotating off of the B bomb site, but Shine was playing deep in A, so they had no information anywhere. That combined with a long rotation, someone has to compromise somewhere, I think, but there we go. 4 rounds between the two teams, buys out again. Zeph with the MP9, so he will probably be playing close quarters. MVP starting with 3 towards B.
Will they try to conceal that fact, or will they use it just for initial grenades and then rotate someone back and leave 2 guys with smokes on the B side of the map? That might be the case here. There's still 3 on B with that deep smoke. It's been active for quite a while, only just now rotating somebody. You've got to be really careful, because TyLoo have a really big window to burst on the A site whilst that rotation's happening. And so there it is, quick set piece. And let's see if the crossfire is going to work out here. Shine is up in the balcony position, going to dodge through the Molotov there. As Minizeta also goes back behind the smoke. So playing retake now, our MVP in a 4v4. This is going to get interesting.
Solo has a incendiary grenade. I don't know if he'll have time to deploy before the smoke goes down, because showing the angle would be showing himself. Takes some shots towards the graveyard position, and the re-smoke there is somewhat brutal, but there is a gap in that smoke, and he may find Benta if he keeps looking through that gap. But at this point, MVP, the clock is quite ticking, and you do wonder, the longer they wait, I think the more likely it is that they will just run to their absolute doom. They've got players on the site, though. Solo and Zeph with some frags here. And now it's down to Asia, but someone's got to get on the bomb. They've both got kits. No one's on the bomb, but they have done massive damage to both teams. So you wonder who that favors. Only Solo surviving for the CT side. So it was an awkward one. A lot had to go well for them. Close, but not close enough. TyLoo on 9 rounds. And MVP on an eco with an AWP, heading to 2,900 loss bonus.
I'm really wondering if TyLoo are going to be able to get back into this game. I mean, I know that the T side is definitely more favorable for them, because their style is going to be better enabled by being able to run around with AKs, be explosive, be aggressive. Speaking of which, Solo looking deep in second mid. He's got 0 support out there as well. All of his teammates on the B-bomb side. And perhaps that's the idea. You want the AWP here to scare TyLoo into going towards B. That's likely the point of this, because typically, you know, people will go to the site which doesn't have the AWP, which is why you often see AWPers shoot a shot, show presence, then immediately rotate. But in this case, he wants to stay there.
How long does he stay there, though? Because the Banana guys are starting to come back down towards mid. But the longer he stays there, the more exposed he is to the boiler position. And I think the T's threw a boiler Molotov there, which actually helped him to get that kill. And now somebody's moving away from maps, and I think this is going to work. Oh, look how close they are. The grenades go beyond them, and they charge out for it. Oh dear, there's a team kill, but mostly this is working out. Zef just about gets a reload in, and all kinds of carnage. Now TyLoo, 1 versus 2. Do you go for this? He's flanking from Banana. I think he does.
Yeah, he's got the AK, absolutely. He's got a kit too. He's already got a frag in the bag. Does he find any other nades, anything else to be collected before he goes on his mission? The mission of no return, and he'll be put in the ground. Somebody gets the frag, and that almost went really badly. It's like a panic there as CZs rush in at an unannounced spot. They actually picked a pretty good timing for it, to be honest. Like there's I mean, there's got to be loads of spots where the CZs just win from that push. And I felt like TyLoo were in a spot that you so commonly see teams in where they don't know how to initiate. They don't know how to initiate against the force buy or the anti-eco.
Mission of attrition. 5 AKs from TyLoo. Again, savage aggression from TyLoo towards top Banana. They need to get a smoke down. That's a nice meaty grenade. But they have to smoke off the top of Banana. Lucky to get away just in time. Abandoned ship for TyLoo. Is this a complete focus towards the A site now? Both these teams are more or less broke at this point. Maybe if the T's lost around but planted, they could buy. But other than that, someone is going to be hurting real bad after this round. Some nice spray through the smoke there, and Azio is eliminated. Bentet trying to do what he can, creeping around that smoke. Maybe he'll take Solo off guard. With all that spam, he has to reload the AWP, and he has been left in situ on his own. And TyLoo look for answers towards A.
Yeah, it's another one of those spots similar to last round where TyLoo have lost a man, and they lost some map control, and then sort of it seems as though maybe they were unsure what to do. And this is potentially very dangerous. Oh, nicely done with the boost. Excurate gets the frag, and now they can queue up the push or trigger the push. Smoke on the CT. That might be the GG in this round potentially, because this is a very fast take at the B bomb side. There is a man at the bottom of middle as well. Bentet defense construction. Now MVP have to think about their money, and indeed they're going to go back. 11 rounds to TyLoo, 1 away from tying things up. That would be the 5th round in a row that they've won.
That was smart from TyLoo. They did not boost right in front of the wall to give anything away. They were further back, so there was less warning to the sniper player. That is TyLoo closing the gap to 1. Indeed, this will be round number 5 for the T side. So at least MVP have that. They can be quickly on the bye, presuming a 12-12 scoreline is on the way. That's the only thing going forward in right now is the loss bonus. Fountain has been soiled. It will require new water and new fish. Right then, 3 sniper rifles saved, so they can just drop for their teammates. They won't have the 3 M4 save. They won't have the AWP, but needs must. French guns are being purchased. They're not so generous with the M4s. Tactical pause pops in just in time. Right then. Who's going to win it, Dan?
Yeah, it's really hard to say, isn't it? I mean, it's just hard to predict because both teams don't seem consistent with their approaches. I mean, TyLoo, I feel like TyLoo should be winning this series. And I feel like they should be winning this map, especially now they're on the T side. We've seen some repeated success from them. Oh, hello. Zef, what about Zef, eh?
What about Zef?
You go, you go.
I did the last one.
Oh, Minsiak. Zef Park started his competitive career in 2004 by joining the CS 1.6 organization, Gehenna.
2004.
Gehenna. I think that's like, in some mythology, that represents hell or something. I think some, I forget which mythology.
I hope you're right.
Something like that. Well, let's see. Solo with the FAMAS. Oh my god, he's being nuked. He is very, very weak indeed. They've got 3 on Banana, though, for some reason, at the moment. And that's a bit gambly, again, if TyLoo try to take top mids or try to go towards A, they're going to find a lot of space to work with.
TyLoo have not been shy of aggression on the banana position early. They're much more aggressive than MVP have been. These flashbangs are forcing them back, however, but again, we need more of those smoke grenades from MVP, and there it is, a smoke at the bottom of banana. So TyLoo will be forced out of B for the time being. Bomb in second mids. Out the back, there's a minute on the clock here. If they are to focus on a B bomb site, somebody will need to collect. That will be Bentet. Oh, it's up in the apartment. Somewhat tedious place to grab the bomb. So Zeph will be keeping an eye on top banana, and Mini Zeta is rotating towards the B bomb site. But it seems that, sorry, A bomb site. But it seems that TyLoo want to ask questions of banana once again. I think Zeph has seen something. He's holding onto his smoke grenade. He's got to place it well, and indeed he will. That is going to really kill some time here for TyLoo, and they are 4 people with somebody looking to wrap from Arch. He's got in there somehow, but he will not contain his load. They're lining up for Zeph. Surely it's going to be a complete wipeout. 4 players in 2 seconds or so. Great play with that late smoke from Zeph. He spotted, dropped it perfectly, allowed his teammate to bait for him, and then got them stats, baby.
I was thinking to myself, you know, it definitely could serve them well to go through the smoke, but were there any flashbangs of any kind?
I do not know.
It didn't seem like there were. Zeph seemed completely, like, fine. That is a little bit scary, isn't it, now, because TyLoo are in a position where their money starts to get on top of the, well, on the ropes, and we get the instant buy from Didi, who, as somebody can buy, Xcurate can kind of buy Ezio, and is in a bit of a predicament, but yeah, they're going to go for the buy. I'd love to read this one, but we've just got a shot of the guy's arse, so that's not going to be the case. I like that. Like that. Sometimes we get denied. Anyways, we do have indeed a very weak buy for Ezio. At least, but everyone else seems okay. Just a quick push from Zeph, and now Zeta is to keep going with the spray. Has to go back for the reload. Once again, 3 players towards B early on for MVP, and Bentet's going to go forwards with it. It's very blind. Zeta is going to keep spraying. They're trying to find Solo. Oh my god, Solo able to dodge out of that. 3v3 after about 20 seconds.
Sign smoking the apps. How willing is he to look for information in the mid position? Glow's made his way towards B. He has no flash though for that pool area, as we spoke about earlier. And everything slows down. TyLoo, all 3 players on banana. The peak is there from Bentet, and surely that is the green light. Now, what does Glow choose to do? The try to hold position? No, he goes for the peak, and he won't get it. And now Cyan is just on the A bomb site. He is miles away. Yeah.
The interesting thing now is that, you know, now that we've seen more of this inferno between these 2 Asian teams, it makes more sense. Some of the timings and choices I think we saw from MVP's T side, like when MVP started like going for those really early round A hits. That's something you used to see a lot in the European and North American meta, but it kind of disappeared a bit. And the fact that we're seeing MVP play passively so many rounds with 3 on the banana bomb site, on the B bomb site, that tells you, you know, that's just, it seems like it must be in the meta that you'll see these early rounds, extended early rounds, spots where there's 3 players on B. So those really fast quad hits become really powerful against that as a counter strat. But whenever you run that, it's got to be a blind read. So it is a bit of a gamble, but MVP have done it multiple times. So it can be exploited by TyLoo.
On loan from Eclipse, his performances in previous domestic and international competitions have been recognized by their organization and the players, which resulted in him getting an opportunity to represent TyLoo. I'm talking so fast, I can't talk. 1 round between these 2 teams now. MVP still in the lead, and they have forced it up. They've got the MP7, they've got some FAMAS, some French guns. Always a sign of discomfort. Sign of discomfort. And again, they've got that crazy aggressive play. Glow over 2K gets the 90-degree kill on somebody. That is a massive advantage. And now I think they can reset into a more traditional setup and sit on the advantages they have. In the meantime, TyLoo have no idea if somebody is in CT apps, in T apps, and that's going to really kill time for them. The paranoia in this round will be a problem for TyLoo.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because again, this is something that you don't really see too much in the European and North American meta, these second mid pushes, it's much more reminiscent of the older iterations of CS:GO and Counter-Strike in general. But it's not been nearly as safe lately in this iteration of Counter-Strike. So it's been interesting to see that repeatedly from them. And again, if you imagine that most rounds they're playing 3 on B, perhaps that's the plan. Condition them to try to push apartments early and then just get an early fight. But still, there is a chance here for TyLoo if BenTech can find something. He's the only guy that really has an opportunity to do so.
He could catch Sign off guard, who's coming into the library position, but the double pit play may throw him off guard. He knows one person's there because of the deployed grenade. He sees the elbow of a player in the normal position, but is he ready for the other one? Oh, Mini Chetai, he almost forces him to kill his the teammate there. And Glow has not been spotted just yet. BenTech flying out of nowhere. He's on the plant as well, 14 seconds. Azio going for the default plant. Solo still on Banana. So he's got a 1v1 versus Zeph. Zeph firing a bullet, but not really committing. Picking up the AWP now after firing an AK shot. And that might catch MVP off guard. We've got the jiggle peeking going on. And indeed, it looks like it did its job. Solo with an MP7, and Azio's got the right angle, but the longer this takes, does he do a 180? He knows that Solo will come from the other side. He goes for the wide peak, and that is a robbery from TyLoo to tie the score.
Beautiful clutch from Azio, 4K in the end. I just love the confidence to swap out for the AWP. It's a really smart to do that. Again, it can be a preference thing, but if you think about the way that the dynamics of that situation work and you're playing 1v1s against 2 riflers, the AWP gives you a massive advantage. You feel good with it. And there it is, Azio getting that very key frag in the pit, and then the clutch shots. And then here the clutch. He was convinced, he knew. He did not waver. He didn't doubt himself. That's so awesome to see, and that's such an impactful play. Number 1, look what it's done to the money of TyLoo. Number 2, MVP, sorry. And number 2, the morale of TyLoo after a clutch like that is going to be lifted, and that's for 13-13.
That's another round where MVP started with a strong 5v3 after a second mid push and 2 kills from Glow. And TyLoo, I think they've got more clutch in them and more aggression in them on the T side. Managed to bring it back. You can see the game sense on the players, firing shot of the AK, picking up the AWP, trying to catch them, peeking perhaps more than they otherwise might. Get a 1v1. Marvelous stuff from TyLoo to keep them in the game and really put MVP on the back foot. It looks like it was going the way of MVP here. And again, it is a 1-0 lead for TyLoo at the moment.
Yeah, TyLoo set up very well for that 14th round. And it's been so much, I feel like there's been so much drama in this Inferno game. Just due to how difficult I think TyLoo have made it for themselves in certain positions. And now they're in the 5v3. They can regroup and make their way to a bomb site together. And they should be able to trade to success. Unless Glow somehow finds 3 Deagle headshots immediately. They should be okay here, TyLoo. Come on, Glow. Let's see the 3D. Let's see the Deagle headshots.
I really want to make an obscure Nelly Furtado reference because she has a song called Glow. Mini Zeta and Zeph remain on the B bomb site. So we're looking at 14-13 TyLoo. There was minimal investment from MVP in this round. They're going to get 2,400 for losing it. We may see the odd FAMAS in this round if they want the grenades. There will be another tactical timeout from TyLoo. Maybe discussing what they can expect from MVP, looking at how many people won and lost, survived in the various rounds. Breitling never timer there. Yanko's a fan. Will we see a naked AWP? Probably not. Only Shine and Zeph have the money for that. 2 M4s coming out. Freeze time has been cancelled. Do MVP have it in them to bring this to a 3rd map?
Yep, that's the question. Right now, TyLoo are definitely... I mean, that pause was really good. to, like, I think that pause could serve MVP really well to sort of break up the morale and not the morale, sorry, the momentum of TyLoo after that clutch victory there from ASIO. And especially after some of the stuff we've seen from him today, it's so rewarding to see a player in a clutch situation who's not been performing well and then just absolutely nail the clutch. And it's such an impactful one too. And Xcuria will be following up with the AWP here as they walk into the apps. Shine unlikely to get. Oh wow! I'm surprised he was able to get that frag. There comes the trade. That's so quick. He heard the grenade get thrown. He wanted desperately to get the punish, and he gets it. Absolutely
nasty stuff. And now we see the MVP players being active towards the short position. They don't want to sit in these situations, but they have minimal info because it has almost never paid off for them. Minizeta and Zeph towards the B bomb site. TyLoo asking questions of the CT side, perhaps looking to exhaust their grenades. But it's still 2A and still 2B here for MVP, and it's 4 on Banana for TyLoo.
And they baited out the last remaining smoke, I believe, on B, so now there's no more smokes. Incendiary from Minizeta, but that's not going to hurt them too much. It's the bullets that really do the damage. And Bentet's going to have to charge through the Molotov and try to find the last frag. He's got a timer on him right now because the rotation's coming in. In fact, it's already there for one player. We got someone in construction. Bentet does get the frag. Is this possible? 20 seconds to go now to try to clutch this one. Looking for the... Oh, he's going to run straight into Glow. Straight into Glow. He was gambling on the rotation coming all the way through CT for Glow, but he went into the Banana position.
MVP had one flash on Zeph, who was in the oranges area. It bounced it off the...
barrels.
Off the barrels, yeah. Forgot English for a second there. Bounced it off the barrels, and as that push came in, that just absolutely crushed MVP, allowed his team, I think it was Minizeta, to peek, get 2 kills from there. And then Zeph didn't overextend after killing a third person, left the first person there, the last person there, and fell back. So great presence of mind. And now surely this round wins the game or the match for one of these teams, because the money is pretty bad. Again, TyLoo could force something if they plant the bomb. They have that kind of money. Who can keep a steady head? With 3 players towards Banana, on Banana, in Banana, deep in Banana for TyLoo, you almost favour them because it's been hard for MVP to deal with.
It has. Oh my god, this is such an important round for both teams. There's a nice pop flash there in somebody's face. Now move back towards Banana. And MVP with 3 on A still. Although quick rotation from the Arch player is possible. More smokes coming in here from MVP. Do they have any left on Banana? That's the question.
Yeah, they've got one on Minizeta, but he's not in position to throw it, and he needs to get into position to throw. He's holding a pop flash at the moment, but he has a smoke, and he really needs to put that smoke down. There are 30 seconds left, and I think he's waited too long, and that could be a massive problem. He has to put a Molotov down instead, and now they've got angles, TyLoo, but they're falling back. They're stuck in the choke point. Get something out. You start to deploy. That's a massive grenade. That's a huge problem for them. Distracted by the players spraying, but there's a T on the barrel. If Zeta pushes this smoke, surely he dies. So they're running distraction. 3 versus 4. There's 9 seconds to plant the bomb. And they've got the site now. TyLoo, Glow picking one off. But TyLoo have the man advantage. MVP have to win this round. Well, they both do, really.
How do you follow? What on earth just went on there on the push? As you say, smokes everywhere. 3 versus 2. Defense on construction looks good from DD as Shine now loses his battle to DD as well. 15 rounds now for TyLoo. That almost looked like an enormous catastrophe for TyLoo, but they somehow win the battles on the site. As you say, James, that smoke on Fountain was so strong.
It was, but there should have been, he should have replenished the other smoke. He was still facing, maybe expecting a push or something, but you've got that smoke is so valuable. If you put that smoke in the same place, then they can stand right in front of that smoke and just block the players if they come. There's so many different things they can do. The one on site is helpful as well, but there were so many TyLoo players. They were all over the place. They had elevation, and here we are now. 5 CZs for MVP. What they couldn't do with rifles, can they do it with pistols?
That's a good question. We've seen it a bunch today, so wouldn't be all that surprised. to see us go after all. Now, TyLoo have to make sure that they don't play too afraid. It tends to be, there's always this fear factor when it comes to playing the anti-force buy. But that said, at the same time, for MVP, they have the pressure on them, because if they lose this map, they lose the series, they will not be in a position to continue onwards in the tournaments. TyLoo fighting to win that quarterfinal spot against NIP. TyLoo, the flash there, the peek for Zeph as he goes and investigates. A lot of info there, nothing too much happening towards Banana. That should inform MVP as to where the majority of TyLoo are right now. And they've got 3 on B still, MVP.
Yeah, again, they've been so many rounds, buy round or force buy, where they just haven't had the info and they've got to gamble, and then they're doing it again. With somebody's position in the apartments, it seems they're going to split the A bomb site. The grenades are flowing in, and how on earth do you get back into this? This is all but over at this point. The split from TyLoo, when the T's are pushing Arch and Short at the same time, you are absolutely done for. Solo moving up Banana. Zeta and Zeph on Arch. 3 versus 5, 2 flashbangs, no kit. And we watch them go one by one. It will be TyLoo making it to LAN. They will be playing in front of a Chinese audience this weekend, this Sunday, and maybe Monday as well.
Yeah, honestly, this was one of the most troubling Infernos I've seen in a while. It was very intense. Whenever you felt like a team had an advantage, something incredulous had happened, and there's a lot of drama there, James, for me.
Yeah, I mean, MVP, I think on both of those maps, it came down to the wire. They almost lost in similar fashion, and I think there's a lot that they can take away from this, and a lot of things that they can fix for the future, and maybe the panel can tell us some of those things. Over to you, Paul.
Yes, thank you very much, James Bardolph and Mr. DDK, with the final commentary of the day. Our 4th and final series has ended, which means we now have 6 teams through to the bracket. 2 in the quarterfinals, 2 in the semi-finals, 4 in the quarterfinals. Of course, strange concept, but we'll show you why towards the end of the program. Don't go anywhere, because we've got Thorin and we've got Natu with us to break things down in that final series. What did you make of that?
Interesting series, certainly. Yeah. There was times where MVP looked like they were going to win, actually. Yeah. They were doing pretty well. So I think, actually, like the end of this map here really showed the best part of the series, because as we've discussed already with the Virtus Pro series, TyLoo was at their best when they're on the T side. They have a really entertaining style. And I actually think the MVP team's at their best on the CT side, because they have a very different stylistic matchup. Like the MVP team, they look like when Rambo was coaching them a while ago. Like, he did a good job. Like, they play pretty methodically. They actually play off each other very well. Whereas TyLoo, as we've discussed, like, they're all about that really old school style where you sort of walk up to the site and then you all just burst onto it in like 10 seconds. But they can do it. They've got the right players to do it. So it's a pretty entertaining style. It does mean you get into a lot of chaotic like 2v2s and 1v1s, which actually in this game, I think the key for me is TyLoo won a bunch of them. Like, they were losing every single one, it felt like, in that cash game against Virtus Pro. So obviously they learned their lesson from the Virtus Pro game, and I think overall they were the better team.
Yeah, I mean, Duncan's right though. MVP, they showed flashes in here.
I think the defining moment for this match was pretty much the 2-on-4 that AE and the stand-in for TyLoo and someone else was in a 2-on-4 situation towards the A bomb site, and AE wins a 1-on-2 in the end with an AWP. Just a kind of MVP lapses in the wrong moments, especially when it comes to retakes, the after plans, the kind of late round situations where they need to be able to play together. It seems to me that far too many times it feels like it becomes overwhelming for them, where they forget to either communicate or they just blatantly just go one by one, and they don't really have that concept of cohesion in those situations. That really is something you need to have to be able to trade frag properly, especially when you have the man advantage, and that will eventually give you those round wins. And that's, I feel like MVP really was really, really good at times, but those are the situations that really define a match when it's like 16-14 times 2, right? So that's exactly the difference.
Was there any one player that stood out for you? On either team, actually?
I mean, I remember there was, on this particular map here, the Exin guy was doing pretty well for a while. I think it was map 1, maybe he was going off. Glow obviously won a whole bunch of clutches on this one, and that was really key. Although the sad thing is, at first it looked like MVP was winning some of the clutches, but the bomb would still always go off, so you didn't really. So it was kind of like, that's like the kind of game it was, There was a lot of close elements to it. And, I mean, as we said coming into it, they've played all these games recently. It's gone back and forth. So you can definitely see that, like, considering MVP's going out of this tournament in last place, they really weren't a bad team at all. It wasn't one of those scenarios where everyone can just beat them. It's so easy, you know. So I think they did a decent enough showing for themselves. And I think the fact, unfortunately, that they had to play against TyLoo was a shame because, as we said, TyLoo won round basically from being in the semi-final already.
Yeah, who knows what might have happened if it had been the other game.
Yeah, there was a window of opportunity a bunch of times for MVP on that Inferno game, City's side, for them to be able to kind of stop the pushes coming in from TyLoo, because there are a lot of rounds. TyLoo let it run into the last 20 or so before they hit the bomb site, and that's when you have, they had a key molly here and there, yes, but if they would have had like one flash and then try and go peek that pool area, because a lot of those hits were toward the B bomb site, they could have just stopped the push altogether. But instead, they spent a lot of utility, spent a lot of time playing aggressive towards the banana, and more often than not, they were the ones losing and then having to gamble on one of the bomb sites.
Okay, statistically, Ben Tet is probably top of the pile, but you get the choice to name an MVP. So have you got one in mind?
Just from what I was seeing, who looked like they had impact, I think somebody was very good in this game. Like, I think for that style on the T side, like his skill set fits it really well, and they seem to get most of their entries off him. So I would pick him personally.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta love seeing him play. There was a moment towards the tail end of the game where him and his teammate were pushing apps, and there's a smoke coming in towards the apps before after a kill happened from the CT that was on balcony, and somebody just literally goes into the smoke and just gets that trade kill, even though it feels like a situation where that should never happen. So, yeah, he definitely has a very cool way of playing, and has a lot of impact kills for this team.
Yeah, I get freaked out on this desk when we do MVPs, both in Dota and in CSGO, and since I've been here for the last couple of weeks doing both. Last week we had no one MVPs, now we've got somebody MVPs. I'm just... someone had to do it. Someone had to do the punny jokes. What?
Dota has got a lot of nobodies, whereas Counter-Strike lots of somebodies, you know.
There is your MVP for the final series. It is somebody, not no one, or nobody for that matter.
Not
MVP.
necessarily statistically doing an amazing game.
But in terms of what he achieved and what he did for his team.
Yeah, no, it just goes to show beyond just the numbers that we see, that the way you think of the impact, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to have 40 kills in a game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we all know that you can stand on a corner and get a 4-man after the bomb's gone off, and
or an
your stats look great, right?
Yeah.
But there it is. Right, let's update you on Group B. We're all done with the group stages right now. So this is what it looks like. Virtus Pro went through earlier on, surprisingly perhaps to some, with a 2-0 win over Heroic, matching their recent ESL Cologne qualifier as well. Heroic will go through in second place, however, and they will be in the quarterfinals alongside the hometown favourites, of course. TyLoo will play in front of the live audience when we come back in a day or so. We've got a day's break tomorrow. What are you going to do?
Sleep. Probably do a video.
Bit of sleep.
Very surprising.
Eating Korean barbecue.
We've definitely got to do Korean barbecue tomorrow.
Exactly,
yeah. That's in the plan. 7 p.m. Right?
Now everyone's going to be outside the hotel, aren't they? What are you doing?
Now, sightseeing, chilling, you know, it's a cool city. So
yeah, it is a cool city indeed. Let's show you the playoffs then. This is what the last 6 teams in this tournament will face when they head to the playoffs in a day's time. Of course, as I said, we've got a break tomorrow. Then we come back on Sunday, and we'll have the quarterfinal. As you can see, NIP will take on TyLoo. That's far from certain in terms of the way it would go, in terms of which way it would go. Can we get those brackets back?
I can remember them anyway.
Can you? Like I can't. I've got a short-term memory. Look, there we go. Bottom of the bracket, Heroic versus Envy, which also could be very close indeed. And Virtus Pro and Na'Vi in the semis already.
I think the Heroic Envy is a very interesting one, just because of the fact, like we actually discussed a little bit briefly before, where Envy obviously in a very iffy situation right now, and then you got Heroic with the changes. So this could be a game that's very interesting, not necessarily tactically very diverse, but it's definitely going to be entertaining.
Yeah. Do you think TyLoo got a chance to get through?
Yeah, I do actually. I think the way they match up against NIP will be interesting because, I mean, you look at NIP, they're still figuring out the new in-game leader situation. Their map pool's a bit up and down, you know. I think actually there's some decent maps for TyLoo, and plus this style of play, unless you've played against it, you can't really prepare for that, you know. So I think all the teams that have to play them have to adapt. Now, but Virtus Pro did it in a best of 3, but still close even for them.
Yeah, it was indeed.
And then we could possibly get that rematch if it happens.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll get it all again in the semi-finals. Who knows how far TyLoo could go after that. Thank you very much, gents. That is it for day number 2. Our group stages are complete. Groups A and Group B. As you've seen, 6 teams have advanced on. We've lost 2, unfortunately, and they are local Asian teams. Our commiserations to MVP and to VG Gaming as well. who have gone out of the group stages. 6 left then, still 1 tournament champion to find, and 2 more days to go as we crown our Counter-Strike Asia champion in 2 days' time. As I said, tomorrow, day off, then back on Sunday, and crazily for an esports video game tournament, Monday is the championship day. We'll see you in a day's time.